Welcome to the Extra Point Podcast presented by Beauty Counter. We are, it's so great to say this, 3 days away from Cowboys Buccaneers, Travis?
3 days away, baby.
Oh my
Let's
gosh.
go.
My favorite emoji these last few weeks, few days has been the crying, the smiling crying emoji, because
Yep.
I keep using it whenever we're talking about football because it's just great. It's
We're
great to
back.
have it back. Yep. Full capacity stands or stadiums, hopefully. I got my Good Morning Football background up here. Best show. Football's back. We talked about last week AFC division, or we picked our AFC champions. I know Gable's not here. Do you want to pick your AFC division champions though, and then we'll go through the rest of the show?
AFC or NFC?
Did I say AFC?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. NFC.
Yeah. So start with the East.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Washington.
Starting
I'm debating. It's already tough. I'm
starting
stuck
with a no
between
doubter.
Washington. I'm stuck between Washington and Dallas. Is what I'm really stuck between, because I really don't know how Dallas is going to be. They can be really, really good, or they can do what they did last year and just not perform. And
it's the Cowboy curse. I don't know what it is, man. I don't they can have all the hype they want. And, they're they're the richest organization in the league. I get it. Jerry Jones is a heck of a businessman. He's a great promoter, all that stuff. They can have a great offense. Dak Prescott can be a top 5 fantasy quarterback, and Cooper and Zeke can be great, and CeeDee Lamb could explode. And, the defense might even take a step, but I don't know. You can never believe in them. You just can't.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to go with the risky move. I'm going to go Cowboys. So Cowboys are going to come in first.
Mm-hmm.
Washington, Giants, Eagles.
Okay. All right.
That's going to be my East. I'm going to save the North for last because
we know. Yeah, that's our thing. Yeah.
The South. I'm going to have obviously the Buccaneers.
What about Carolina? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, right. Then I'll go Saints and Carolina and the Falcons.
Yeah.
The West. This is the toughest one in sports right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Rams,
okay.
Then 49ers, Seahawks, Cardinals.
Whoa. Okay.
Dude, I think the 49ers are gonna show up and show out. I think they're gonna have themselves a year.
Okay. It's fair.
Then to the North, baby. I hate to say it, but it's going to be another year of just heartbreak. It also depends on what this guy does
it's okay.
here.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. You have your quarterback, and this could be, I don't want it to be, God knows I don't want it to be, but it could be the last year, not just of Aaron Rodgers. I'll talk about my stuff later, but it could be the end for a little bit. So, yeah. But
yeah, I'm going to go Packers, Vikings, Bears, Lions.
Hey, watch out for Detroit. Watch out for Dan Campbell. They're gonna bite your kneecap off and
get up.
Take your earlobe. I don't know what they're gonna do, to be honest with you.
Boy.
Who are your wild cards?
I don't know if this one's tougher than the AFC because the AFC is going to be so much better.
Yeah.
But this one's hard to predict because this one is just so many question marks.
Yeah.
So, let's see. I'm going to go the Vikings will get one. I think the Vikings will definitely get one. But then 49ers for sure. I have to stick with my gut.
Yeah.
And then the Seahawks.
Okay.
2 are going to come out of there.
Yeah. All right. So NFC West, I'm going to roll with Washington. I think defense is king. in the end. You can have the greatest offense, ever. But like again, I use this example a lot, but greatest show on turf, the Rams, Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, great offense, greatest offense ever. But the reason they won the Super Bowl in the end was Mike Jones making the tackle. I think was it Kevin Dyson? I can't remember, but it was a slant coming across the middle. Rams make the play. They win the Super Bowl. They tackle him at the 2-yard line. That play, defense won them the game, literally. So in the end, defense, you saw with Tampa last year, defense wins championships. Washington, not only I think do they have the best defense, but I think their offense is going to be sneaky good. Fitzmagic, he's going to go. Fitzmagic is, I think, kind of a new, I'm not comparing him to Brett Favre, but I'm going to call him Brett Favre because Brett Favre always was a gunslinger. He didn't really give a shit if he threw 5 picks. He was going to go try and make the same throw again. And that's what made him great. And I think that's what makes Fitzmagic great. So I like Washington. Again, Fitzmagic. I think Antonio Gibson's going to be a stud this year. Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, former Buckeyes. They're now teammates again. Logan Thomas just inked a new contract extension. Again, defense. We don't even need to go into the defense. It's Chase Young, Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat. They're stacked. So I think they finish out the top. Then we'll say Dallas. The Giants might be the biggest question mark in the division because we don't know. I think I have something. We can talk about Daniel Jones later, but what if Daniel Jones comes out and balls? We haven't seen it yet, but what if he does? They have Saquon, they have a bunch of weapons. Got Galladay, drafted Tony. The defense is improving. So I think they're a big question mark. I'll keep them at 3 and then Philly, just because I think Philadelphia is an ugly mess right now. I don't know what to make of them. NFC South, Tampa, easy. Then New Orleans. Carolina, I think, might be able to surprise some people. I think Sam Darnold I think he's in a much better situation than he has been. Not Curtis Samuel, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore. Both 1,000-yard receivers a year ago. They're going to be great again. Christian McCaffrey back healthy. And their defense has some, I think, intriguing pieces. Brian Burns, Jeremy Chin. I just think those are 2 key players on defense. Of course, I'm saying that now because I can't name all the defensive players, but I do think those are 2 key players who made a lot of impacts, who made a big impact last year. And then Atlanta in 4th. And then the NFC West, I'm going to roll with the Rams. I'm going to roll then 2nd place Seahawks. 3 Arizona, 4 Niners. I'm actually a little skeptical of the Rams. I think they will win. It would make me feel never mind. I forgot they traded for Sony Michel. I was about to say I don't know about the running back situation, but they got Sony Michel, so I'm cool with that. Never mind. I think Seattle, they're going to win double-digit games again. They always do. They just win. Russell Wilson's a great winner. And again, Arizona, I think I don't know why. I feel like I see a lot of people sleeping on Arizona. I don't know why. I think people are just kind of thinking they're just not going to be able to contend with some of these, the teams not only in their division, but also, the Packers, the Buccaneers, they're not up there. I think their offense is going to be. I believe in Kyler Murray. I think AJ Green is a very good addition. I think people are forgetting about that. He's healthy now. They lost Kenyon Drake. They got James Conner. I think James Conner and Chase Edmonds could be a nice little duo. You have Christian Kirk. You draft Rondale Moore from Purdue. Andy Isabella is another guy who has speed. On the defense, you get J.J. Watt. Pair him alongside a healthy Chandler Jones for once. Budda Baker should get Defensive Player of the Year votes. I think people are sleeping on Arizona and the Niners. The quarterback that probably won't mess with the locker room too much. I know a lot of the guys like Jimmy G, but I feel like it won't, put a damper on the locker room. I just think the loss of Saleh and Sherman, I think those are 2 big losses on the defensive side. Nick Bosa is healthy, which is great. Fred Warner is probably the best linebacker in football. So they have some talent, but I'm skeptical of the quarterback situation. And I'm also a little worried that the loss of Salah and Sherman, I think that's going to hurt. In the NFC North, obviously the Packers, I think they're going to go off, or at least they're going to do what they did last year, and hopefully they can take it a little one step further. And then second place, Vikings, Bears 3, and then Lions 4. My wild cards, I will say Seattle, Arizona, and the Vikings. I'll say that. I'll keep the Niners out, keep the Cowboys out. I just think, again, Seattle always, I mean, they win and they're going to be in the playoffs. Russell Wilson's, I think, a very clutch quarterback. Arizona, again, all the acquisitions they made this offseason, I think they're going to be better. And then the Minnesota Vikings, I think their linebacker, their defense, they got a little bit better towards the end of the season. But Anthony Barr, Eric Kendricks, Danielle Hunter were not all healthy. They had to Trey Waynes, Xavier Rhodes were gone. They had to bring in new DBs, and Harrison Smith couldn't do it all by himself. But I think they turned around to make the playoffs this year. Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson's a beast. Kirk Cousins is not a scrub. I know everyone likes to make fun of him. I know they like to give him shit because he's an anti-vaxxer or whatever he is. But I think he's an above average quarterback, and I think they're going to make some waves. So yeah, I think the biggest question in the NFC as a whole is, I don't know. I would say the Niners are kind of like the Steelers of the. I think the Niners are the biggest question mark. Would you say? Do you agree?
The Niners are the Cowboys. One of the two.
Yeah. We'll see what the Cowboys defense is like. You'd have to think the Dan Quinn signing to be the defensive coordinator. I mean, you think that's got to trigger something, like they got to be better. Micah Parsons with Leighton Vander Esch, with Jalen Smith. You have to think they'd be better. And they can't get much worse. And again, Dak Prescott is healthy. So we'll see. They would have made the playoffs last year if Dak was healthy. So we'll see what they do. But I think in that division, Washington I think defense is king. Again, like I said earlier. You want to talk about player awards, coach awards? Offensive Rookie of the Year. So who do you think is your Offensive Rookie of the Year? Say it.
Mac Jones.
Okay, that was not what I was looking for. But okay, all right. I see why.
I want to say Fields, but there's just too much question as to when he's going to play.
Okay. All right. I was not thinking Justin Fields, but why do you think Mac Jones?
I just think he's got the best situation possible.
Yeah. Greatest coach.
Honestly. It all comes down to he's got the right system, he's got the right mindset, he's got all the guys behind him, and he's got nobody else behind him to worry about. So I think it's the right call.
McDaniels is a quarterback whisperer. Yeah.
Who do you think I was going to choose? Trevor Lawrence?
No, I was hoping you were going to pick Najee Harris. I think
he has a chance, but I feel like they try to throw the ball a little bit too much.
Yeah. I think that highlight of him at Alabama was playing South Carolina, and he broke a couple tackles and then hurdled a dude into the end zone. And that was just Najee Harris all in one. I mean, that's who he is. I mean, I think he's the next Le'Veon Bell. I know the Steelers' offensive line is not as great as it's been in years past, especially, all the David DeCastro gone, Marquise Pouncey gone. Is Villanueva gone? I think so. Yes. That's going to hurt, but I think he's a tank, and I think he'll have over 1,000 yards. I think he'll have I think he'll catch over 50 balls at least. I think he's going to have a solid receiving season as well. So I like him. And I know some people, I was wary. I know this is different, but I was wary about picking him in fantasy just because he's a rookie. You never know. I do think he's going to be a stud, though, now that I think about it. And I think he'll be Offensive Rookie of the Year. Who do you think about? Who do you think is going to be Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Micah Parsons.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right.
I think he's got the best potential
Yeah.
to
That's good.
be. Yeah, he's got the best potential to be one of the best defensive players, and he's proven it in college. And he's going to a good system now with
Mhm.
Dan Quinn with the Cowboys, and
Yeah.
I don't know, man. They needed the linebacker help, and I think he's going to give it to him. I feel like it's a safe answer, but I feel like it's
Yeah.
going to be the answer. So
What a matchup it's going to be Thursday night against Brady. Your first NFL start. You're going up against, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. It's going to be something that, I'm sure, like, that's going to introduce him to the league real quick. That's a great pick. I was going to roll Patrick Surtain, Denver. I think number one,
good.
I think it's a great situation. I think Vic Fangio, other than Belichick, other than Belichick, I think you can make the case he is the best defensive coordinator, one of the best. And he's alongside Kyle Fuller, a veteran who you can learn, he can learn from. Again, it's a great scheme. There are other solid players on that side of the ball. You have Bradley Chubb, Von Miller, Justin Simmons. You have Fuller. I think he could be a stud. And I think he could certainly, I think he could get 4 or 5 picks at least, honestly. So I think he is a very good candidate for Defensive Player of the Year for sure. And look, he'll have his chance to prove he belongs going up against Mahomes, Herbert, Derek Carr, who I think is very underrated as well. So that'll be interesting to see what he does. Offensive Player of the Year. I feel like this is like the MVP, I feel like, in a way, not really, but like it's close.
Yeah. Because it can't be the MVP, can it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Do I want to go with the route against you, but still with you, of Aaron Rodgers?
Wow. Well, okay, so like you're thinking about, well, he'll like that, but also he's not the MVP. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Like it's the same thing in every sport. No one likes to be repetitive. Like no one likes to pick this guy back to back years. It's just how it is. It's funny. Like people have put like Aaron Rodgers could be Offensive Player of the Year. Like it's like everyone loves what's next. That's what I was saying with Mahomes being number one with the players in 2021. Like people love what's next. Like so.
Yeah.
I think obvious answer could be Mahomes or something like that. But yeah, that's actually I think it's a low key good pick because no one thinks about Aaron Rodgers as that anymore. Like someone who wins Offensive Player of the Year. Like he's thinking about MVPs and Super Bowls, but quality pick. Why do you think that? I'm just curious.
Because of the guy that's going to win MVP. Because
it's a backhanded compliment, but okay.
That's why I said you're not going to like it, but you're going to like it.
Yeah. No,
It's the most. I mean, I'll jump right to it. The MVP will probably be Mahomes because they got the most electric offense, and they're going to be right back to the Super Bowl again. And it's just, and their defense is really, really solid. That they can back up their offense too, and it's as long as Mahomes stays healthy, man. I don't see a way that there's a way of stopping him.
Yeah, I agree. It's also the first season with 17 games, so he's gonna shatter a ton of records. I would say Offensive Player of the Year for me. It's tough because like there's so many I mean, they never pick a tight end. Well, they the only tight end they would pick would be Kelsey. Like they wouldn't take. I feel like a dark horse could be Darren Waller because I know Kelsey's going to go off, but I feel like Darren Waller put up a lot of great stats these last few years, and I think he could be that. That's a dark horse. Offensive Player of the Year, though, Kamara. I don't know if did Kamara win last year? No. Okay, I think Kamara could be that because again, they don't like to be repetitive. I think Alvin Kamara. I mean, look at Christmas Eve. I mean, 6 touchdowns or whatever, ridiculous, against a good defensive coach and Mike Zimmer, by the way. Alvin Kamara, again, I've said this is the best all-purpose running back in the game. I think he's the best all-purpose offensive player, quite honestly. And I think he could certainly, with no Drew Brees now, no Michael Thomas for the start of the season, I think they're going to rely on him a lot. And I think he could certainly show up and show out. Defensive player of the year.
Safe answer, Aaron Donald.
Yeah, like that is like
answer. TJ Watt.
He should have won it last year. Shouldn't he have?
I agree.
Didn't he have the most sacks? Mm-hmm. He got hosed. And I'm pretty sure JJ responded like after Aaron Donald won. I think he said like no disrespect, but like TJ Watt had a better season.
Yep.
Which is true.
You can't argue against the facts. I mean, I love Aaron Donald, and I think he's probably the most explosive and probably the best talent for defensive player we've seen in our lifetime for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Man, TJ Watt, he really exploded last year, and they're trying to figure out that contract situation right now too.
Yeah.
I think he's just going to come out and ball.
Yeah. He's like, and what's great, like, I mean, this should be all defensive, but like I'm not saying this to be like, he's not fat. Like like Aaron Donald, like Aaron Donald is not fat for like he's jacked. Like all those pictures of him in the weight room, most NFL players are not like fat, but like I don't want to say he's small, but he's just so quick. And I mean, I'm trying to think of some other guys like a Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack's not as fast, but he's strong. And all these guys, it's all about technique. It's all about, finesse. I mean, some guys, their best move is just getting low to the ground because they know the offensive lineman can't get there. TJ Watt does a lot of great things. I love that pick. I don't know. Oh, I know. Chase Young. I was going to go with Darius Smith, but that was more the bias talking. Chase Young was, again, I know it's a celebrity contest, but he was as a rookie, he was a Pro Bowler. I believe had what you told me, I think last episode or 2 episodes ago, he had 9.5 sacks last year or 7. I can't remember. But he's going to take a big leap. I mean, I'm talking at least 14 or 15 sacks. I believe that. I think and they can try and double team him. I don't care. They're not going to beat him. I mean, they call him the Predator because, well, he looks like the Predator, like his dreads and everything like that. And he looks exactly like him. But he's also a freak, and he's also not from this world. He's from a different planet. Don't know where. I mean, did you ever see any of the Predator movies?
No.
Okay. I think they're creepy. I know there's an old like Danny Glover Predator movie, where like he goes into like the Predator. It's weird. I'm not talking about it. It's too scary. We can talk about movies another time. But yeah, Chase Young, Defensive Player of the Year. MVP. You pick Mahomes. You roll with Mahomes. I get it.
It's just too hard to go against him.
Yeah. It would be so great to see Aaron Rodgers win MVP just because I know he's better than Tom Brady. But I won't pick him because people don't like to be repetitive. MVP. I think the easiest, if not Mahomes, I don't want to pick. Okay. If it's not Mahomes, Josh Allen. And it could be Josh Allen coming off. If Aaron Rodgers, if Aaron Rodgers was not born, Josh Allen would have won the MVP. I think he finished second. But he went off last year, close to 40 touchdowns, well over 4,000 yards. His best season yet. He inked that big contract extension. It's got Diggs, got Cole Beasley. You get Emmanuel Sanders too. You had him in free agency. He's coming into his own. So I think Josh Allen could be the pick for sure. And we'll just have to see how that works. Head coach of the year. There you go. You go.
I'll go back to this is gonna go against of who I picked for my divisional race.
Yeah.
But I would love to see Russell Wilson win one MVP.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's always out of first place voting because
he got off to a hot start last year. He was like I think like he wasn't like through 8 weeks or something. He was great, and then he just had some bad games. I mean, like, and sometimes it's not about you feeling that, it's just about winning sometimes and like not screwing it up. Like I think against Arizona, I remember because I was rooting against him because I wanted Rodgers to get the MVP. Like, he had a couple games. He threw a couple picks against, like, the interceptions are the key, I think. I really do, because if you see Russell Wilson throw 12 picks to Aaron Rodgers is 5, who do you like that's a key separator. It just is. It's statistics. But like he had a couple games here or there, like they lost. Didn't they lose to the Giants at home last year? I think they did. They had it was a bad game where they were supposed to win and they only put up like 9 points or something. It wasn't great. And it's just like those like the Packers, Rodgers almost had one against Carolina last year. It was on that Saturday night, like week 16 or something, or week 15. They won like 21-13. Rodgers, he had a rushing touchdown. I think he had a passing touchdown maybe. But like it was one of those like ugly games where like they won, like we knew they were going to win, but like they didn't really fill up the stat sheet. It's like that. And Rodgers did not have any bad games last year. And that was probably the one game where it was like, oh, okay. Well, other than the Tampa game in week 6 or whatever. But like he had games every week that was just like, okay, yeah, he's the MVP or whatever. Whereas Russ had a couple of these games where it's like, okay, well, he threw a couple picks there. They lost that game where they should have won. Like people thought about that, I think, too much.
Yeah. I agree. I totally
agree. Yeah, I mean, I hope he went. I mean, because he's a great dude, man. I mean, you hear all this stuff. He's all about the team. He always says "Go Hawks" after every presser, and he's all about the 12s out there in Seattle. So I really do. I'm rooting for him for sure. So that could be good. But who do you think coach of the year?
Kevin Stefanski.
Okay. Did he win last? No. Who won last year? Was it McDermott?
No, I thought it was the guy. I thought it was Flores, if I'm not mistaken, with Miami.
What were they the year before? Because they finished 10-6, but they missed the play. They must have been terrible. They must have been. I think maybe you're right because they were terrible the year before and they turned it around. They went 10-6, almost made the play. I think you're right. We could just use Google, but.
Oh, Stefanski did win it last year.
Okay, that's what I was thinking about because I just thought about that. Are you going to roll with him? Roll with him again?
No, because it's very, 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 very hard to go back to back.
Yeah.
Let me hear yours. I'm going to think.
Matt LaFleur. I am biased, but also I believe Matt LaFleur has gone.
No, he definitely has a chance.
He has gone 13-3 back-to-back years. I know they haven't won the Super Bowl. They got crushed one year in the championship, and they couldn't pull it out in the last year. But this is, I believe, he is off to. Is it the third? I'm trying to remember. It's one of the greatest starts ever for a head coach. He's 26-6. He's 2-2 in the postseason, but he's 26-6. The offense was the best in the league last year. They're going to do it again this year, and they're going to be in the running. Like I don't know. Like I think the voters pay attention to like the teams that were terrible a year ago, and then like the teams that like. So if your team is shitty, but then you turn around like Stefanski did, like he won Coach of the Year. It's kind of like they don't pick Belichick to win it, now because he's just everyone knows it. They don't pick Andy Reid to win it because he knows it. I feel like LaFleur. I feel like 2019 he should have won it because they were 6-9-1 when McCarthy left. And people should not say like, oh, well, Aaron Rodgers is there, like that's why they were so good. That's part of it. But like Rodgers, his first year was, I love Aaron Rodgers, 26 touchdowns, um, 2 interceptions. And that's Aaron Rodgers. Like he's not going to turn the ball over. Great. I think he's the greatest quarterback ever. But look at the jump they made last year. Number one offense, Rodgers, 48-5. They were amazing. And they went to the championship game again. And I think for him to win, I think they'd have to win the Super Bowl for him to get it, because they're already good. But I think that would be my pick because I feel like people have not given LaFleur the recognition that he deserves because there was that negative, oh well, when he was at Tennessee, they were one of the worst offenses in football. Yeah, you could say that. I mean, they were injured. Marcus Mariota wasn't healthy for most of the season, and they still had a chance to go to the playoffs. But like I think LaFleur does not get the credit that he deserves.
Yep, I'd agree. I I think Bills might take down the Chiefs this year, and that will give Sean McDermott the head coach of the year award.
Okay. Why do you? Okay, I think I saw it was Bleacher Report. BR Gridiron on Instagram said like their picks. They think the Bills win the Super Bowl. I thought about that because do you think some people, when they make their picks and stuff, like do you believe the Bills are better than the Chiefs?
Overall, no.
Okay.
Do I think they can pull it out in one game? Yeah. It
Yeah.
also depends on who's healthy and who's not, but I mean that's going to come with any day of the week. So you can't really judge that right now. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, man. All it takes is one game.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I agree. What should you? Okay, so I have a couple questions. Which team do you think has the most pressure on them heading into the season? Like to win, obviously.
The Browns,
Okay. All right.
because I feel like the way that they've built themselves now compared to previous years,
Yeah.
it's everybody's going to be on them. They're
Okay.
built to win, and if they don't win, they're going to be hosed.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
It's another situation is these guys right here because Nagy and Pace are up for jobs,
Yeah. Yeah.
and this fan base has Justin Fields now, where he can go off at any point in time, but we just don't know when he's going to get the opportunity to play.
Outside of Philadelphia, you do not want to piss off the Chicago Bears fans. Well, I'm sure they're already pissed, but you do not want to piss off the sports fan base that is Chicago.
Yep.
That's good. I might roll. I think the Dallas Cowboys are one, because Dak Prescott, he's been in the league now 6 years. I know he had a major injury last year. He's only won one playoff game. I think, because it's the Dallas Cowboys, and they talk about, the Dallas Cowboys are the New York Knicks of the media. They're like, when they talk about them, like that's how they talk about them. They're healthy now, or he's healthy now. The defense should be better. Less COVID issues than last year. There should be. You got to win, man. Like this is the Dallas Cowboys. They haven't won anything in 100 years. I'm kidding. It's the 90s. It feels like 100 years. The 90s. You have a great offense. They should win, but I don't know if they will because for some reason I just think there's a curse. Don't know what it is. That's the Cowboys. You're the Dallas Cowboys. You think you're the best. You think you're America's team. Go win the division. Try and do that. See what happens. But I don't know. I don't believe in them. Which team has to make the playoffs this season? Has to. The New England Patriots or the Miami Dolphins? Like, who needs it more? I was inspired to ask this question because Good Morning Football this morning, I was watching it. Best show. They asked the question. I think they asked, hey, who has, like, these teams are both desperate and both fan bases, looking for a winner.
All right. When you say who has to,
like who Yeah.
Yeah. No. I know what you're saying, but who has to
Yeah.
be New England
Okay.
because they went all out in free agency.
Hmm.
They got rid of Cam and stuck with Mac,
Hmm.
and they have a lot riding on how they do this season.
Hmm.
Dolphins are still kind of in that stage where they're good, but they're not grade A good yet, if you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that.
But
Yeah.
there's still so many question marks around Tua. They're
Hmm.
still talking about wanting Deshaun Watson for
Yeah.
some reason right
They're
now.
dancing. Yeah.
And it's there's just so much into it where I'd love to see the Dolphins win, but it's not
Hmm.
a they have to win.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. It's tough because it's like for different reasons. Like the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time. We'll see what happens when they play Tampa. I think it's week 4. I want to say, not sure. Um, Tom Brady's off to a great start away from Billy. Already has a Super Bowl ring. Belichick, I got again Kyle Brandt over my left shoulder, right shoulder. I don't know. Said that he deserves 1 year. He deserves 1 year because he's the greatest coach, and they won all those championships. But it's time to kind of get back up on that horse. And again, they have their quarterback, their defense, other than Gilmore for the first 6 weeks, who's on the PUP list. They have everyone back. They spent big in free agency going after um, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar. Ravens extend Mark Andrews to a 4-year, $56 million extension
Ahead.
per rap sheet. No, but I think it's time for the Patriots to get back up on the horse because they're the best dynasty of the last 20 years, one of the greatest ever, and it's just time for they need to. Asante Samuel said I think last week that without Brady, Belichick is just another coach. I What are your thoughts on that? Do you think I think they're reliant on each other. Like I don't think like if Brady doesn't have Belichick, he does not have 6 of his 7 rings. But also if Belichick is not there to have a great game manager like Tom, he doesn't have 6.
I feel like it's just mutual. I
Yeah,
It's hard for me to say one over the other because I think they're both great with what they do. The
yeah,
Patriots got dealt a bad hand last year, but Tom Brady is probably the greatest game manager, minus the game against the Bears where he thought it was 4th down
yeah,
after
yeah,
the
yeah.
final play of the game or the
Hmm.
final play for that series to lose on the game. But
Yeah,
minus just like a couple of games, that man, he can control a game
yeah,
better than
yeah.
anybody.
Hmm.
So
It's yeah,
it splits both ways, but I think with those two together, they were definitely unstoppable. There's no
yeah.
doubt about it.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree. I would say back to the question. I would just say like Miami. They haven't won a playoff game since the '90s. Their last playoff opportunity was 2012, right? Yeah, against they lost. Their last 3 playoff appearances: 2012, 2008, 2001, and they've all gotten crushed in each of them. Um, it's Tua. I haven't seen enough of Tua, and they got to get it going. Dolphins fans, the seat. I believe in Brian Flores, but if they don't make the playoffs, that chair is going to get a little bit hot. I think. I think he's a good coach, and I think they got to start. They had a chance to go last year. Like I was starting to believe in them, but they had a game. They had a chance to go. Week 17, they were at Buffalo. They got absolutely, crushed. So they have an opportunity this year. There's no more Brady. Unfortunately, there's a Josh Allen, but they have an opportunity. I think they got Will Fuller, in free agency. Their offense should be explosive. Gesicki is an emerging tight end. Devontae Parker, who again I think is solid. Myles Gaskin has emerged as a number one running back. He did great things for me in fantasy. So we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. But I want Miami to make it, but I think the team that needs it most is New England because that's what they're used to up there. And I think, I think New England needs it more. Which quarterback has to play, again, that I mean, you can use that word, has to play well this season. This might be like obvious, but not, I don't know. Which quarterback has to play well this season? Dak or Daniel Jones? I think it's an obvious answer, but I think it's curious.
Daniel Jones.
Okay. All right.
Would you agree?
I asked this question again. I talked about Dak. He is the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. He has 2 playoff appearances, which is not bad. He only has 1 playoff win, though. And, I don't know. Again, last year, obviously, gets a pass because it was a terrible injury. But
I don't feel like he has to, though. The way that you put the question is who has to win, and Daniel Jones has to win to save his job.
Yeah. Okay.
Him and Joe Judge, because Joe Judge has been saying how much Daniel Jones is such a great quarter. Well, I mean, not great, but he's such a solid quarterback, and just he can win you ball games, this and that.
He has all the weapons. He has all the weapons now.
They got the weapons for him. It's who has to win? Daniel Jones.
Yeah. I'm not saying like Dak Prescott's in Daniel Jones's category or anything. Like Dak Prescott is, I would say he's a top 10 quarterback. He's good, great in fantasy, but that's different. But he's got Dak has got really I guess it's not necessarily Dak's fault that the whole team sucks, but he's just in these big games, they just have to come through. And it's, again, this is more of just a Cowboys problem. Dak is usually holding up his end, but sometimes he's just got to do more. I can't put him in the Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Mahomes category. I just can't, because I don't believe, say the rest of the roster was shit. I do not believe he could put them on his back and take them to the playoffs like Aaron Rodgers has done. I don't know if Mahomes could yet because, Andy, great system, great players. We've seen Russ do it when the defense last year, wasn't it terrible before they traded for Jamal Adams? It was one of the worst in league history.
Yeah.
But Russ has proven that he can win without the best players. Rodgers has done that throughout his career. I'm looking at more defensively in Green Bay, but I think Dak has. It's just time they start winning. That's more the answer, I guess. I'm saying I'm looking for Dak. It's time they start getting it going again. Now here's an interesting question. 2 more questions. Who has the ugliest situation in the league? What organization do you not want to be a part of? Or what is it, a position battle? Is it just something going on that you're happy you're not a part of?
These guys right here.
Sorry, I thought you were picking your eye or something. Yeah.
These guys right here.
Okay.
As a Bears, just so much can be positive, but as of right now, so much is just negative.
Yeah.
And if they don't perform this year, then they have so many contract situations that are coming up in the near future that they're just going to lose everybody. Plus, they have the oldest team in the NFL right now? I'm pretty sure it's the oldest defense.
Yeah, it's one. I mean, I know Khalil Mack is 30. Trevathan is over 30. Robert Quinn is over 30.
Akeem Hicks is over 30.
Yeah. No,
I mean, you can lose 75% of your best guys. Allen Robinson, if we don't win this year, he's gone for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
And it's just a bad situation to be a part of right now.
Yeah. Hey, again, for all the Bears fans out there, I'll give you some optimism. this might be not just the last season of Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, but key players, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I don't know why I listed him first, but him, Devontae Adams, Alan Lazard, Big Dog, Mercedes Lewis, Robert Tonyan, Adrian Amos, you know him, couple other key players. Those guys are entering free agency pretty much. I mean, unless we'll see what happens with Aaron. Again, I hope to God as a Packers fan he comes back because he's my favorite player and he's been my guy. But a lot of the key players in Green Bay could very well be on the way out, and this might be it this season. So that's the one glimmer of hope I think that all Bears fans should be thinking about. But that's not it's not great with Nagy and Pace. I would say again, I talked about Chicago and Philly as being some of the poor sports fan bases to piss off. I would say Philly's situation. Like I know Jalen Hurts is the starter, but like you trade for Minshew, you signed Flacco. It's I'm not worried about them taking. Well, I don't know. I guess that's my answer. I don't know. Like I know Hurts is the guy. We haven't seen enough of him though. Joe Flacco has been out of his prime for. I mean, who even knows if he had a prime? But like, is he going to take over if Hurts is bad? Is Gardner Minshew like? It's weird saying Gardner Minshew would be the third string quarterback. I don't know. Like that's not a situation. Nick Sirianni.
I feel like he has to be the backup after they just traded for him.
Yeah. Sirianni, I just don't trust as a head coach. I mean, I think they made fun of him on the Pat McAfee show. Ty Schmidt did a great impersonation of Sirianni. But yeah, that's not a great situation. I mean, they have Devontae Smith. Hurts has a great mindset. Miles Sanders is a pretty good running back. Defense is a mess. I'm not expecting a whole lot from Philadelphia this year, and I think the fan base might, you're going to hear a lot of boos this season, I think. And then I guess we talked about this earlier with the Steelers and Niners, but which team do you think is the biggest question mark in the NFL?
Cowboys.
You think? Okay. Just because
curse, but then how does Dak play? How does Zeke play? Zeke started fumbling the ball again last year.
Yeah.
Well, even more last year, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And just we'll see how that defense plays. I mean, they can be top of the line or they can be low end of the total poll. It's so tough to guess what they do.
Yeah.
I feel like that's got to be – not got to be, but it's one of the biggest question marks around the NFL.
It's kind of that's what comes with having Mike McCarthy as your head coach. I love Mike McCarthy. He'll be a Packer Hall of Famer. I think he has a street named after him. I believe in Green Bay. Very good coach, very beloved coach in Green Bay for 13 plus years. But when he's the head coach, the defense is not great. That's just how it is. And it's because there are a lot of coaches who, all the coaches in the NFL really, maybe outside of Pete Carroll and Hardball, or I almost said Hardball. That was not great. Harbaugh, like a lot of coaches focus on one side or the other. Belichick he focuses on defense. Gruden focuses on the quarterback. McVay focuses on the quarterback. McCarthy is more offensive oriented. LaFleur is more offensive oriented. Shanahan is. Peyton, all these guys. A lot of these guys are more offensive oriented. I think like that's why I was kind of hoping the Packers. I'm happy they didn't, but like I was kind of hoping maybe they would sign a defensive head coach because I was just kind of thinking maybe that would help the defense. But whatever, they're 13-3 back-to-back years. It's not that big of a deal. But I just think when a coach is solely focused on one side of the ball, that hurts, the overall ability of the team. So again, I think the Cowboys could certainly figure it out. Again, hiring Dan Quinn was a massive help, and I don't think McCarthy shouldn't have to look over Dan Quinn's shoulder to see, are you doing this right or whatever. Like McCarthy doesn't know jack about defenses. I mean, he does, but like you're there to coach the offense, even though you're the head coach. Dan Quinn knows more than you. Let Dan Quinn do his thing. So yeah, that's a good pick. I would say Pittsburgh. I would say the top three are probably Dallas, Pittsburgh, and San Francisco. Pittsburgh
I'd agree.
is you don't know. Like their offensive line is supposedly terrible, but their receiving core, Juju, Claypool, Deontay Johnson, not bad. Eric Ebron is a very solid tight end. You draft Najee Harris, Big Ben. His elbow, his arm appears to be healthy. The defense is top 5, I think. So we'll just have to see. But like they should be good on paper, but the division, Ravens, Browns, could be tough. The Bengals might give you an L. Who knows? Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see. But San Francisco too. San Francisco quarterback situation. Who knows? We'll see how the defense plays without Saleh and Sherman there, and Deebo Samuel coming back from a major injury. So we'll see. I think that's our time though. I think we've pretty much gone up for the hour.
Comeback player of the year.
Oh, good. I just disappeared for a second. That's cool. I would say can I say Aaron Rodgers? No, he's not coming back from anything. Well, he's coming back from almost leaving, but I'm happy he's back. He'll go off for 50 touchdowns, no picks. It's fine. No, I would say probably Saquon. I know people are going to give a lot of pub to Dak Prescott and the Cowboys because they're the Cowboys, but
got Dak, Saquon, you got
Nick Bosa.
That's
Irwin.
going to be my choice.
Yeah.
Kittle. They're considering Kittle too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
there's a lot of good options.
Derwin James. Hopefully he stays healthy, man. That guy is a very good player, and the Chargers. Yeah, they could use that. So we'll see, man. This is gonna be great. But 3 more sleeps until Thursday. Get excited, man. Do you think? Okay, we'll talk about this more on Thursday. Do you think is this going to be a good game on Thursday, or do you think the Cowboys are going to get crushed?
I hope it's a good game.
Yeah, let's just leave it at that. We'll talk more on Thursday. That's it. Shout out to Good Morning Football. Kyle Brandt, Kay Adams, Nate Burleson, Peter Schrager, best show. Shout out to whoever's in that picture of yours. I don't know. Shout out. All right. We'll talk.
Sir, we gotta make our week picks on Thursday.
Yeah, weekly picks Thursday, and possibly a guest. We'll see what happens. But hey, man, till then.
But sometimes I wonder, I might have met the love of my life, but I lost a number. Never mind, she declined to the first date. I went to Vegas with a roommate. Never mind all the lines on the highway.